All right.
Okay, guys, good to see you. I've had the privilege of speaking to some of you, and I'd say so far that I'm really impressed with some of the stuff that you're doing. So, like all power to you. You've got your pictures pretty soon. So how confident are you feeling? How confident are you guys? Are you feeling confident? Good-ish. Are you guys feeling confident?
Yes.
You're feeling confident at the back. You're feeling confident. Okay, that's good. That's good. And so it is like something that can be learned, practiced, improved. So a bit of background about me is I run a brokerage for a company called Angel Investment Network. We have 200,000 investors across the world. We, as a department of 3 people, have raised £25 million for startups in the last 3 years. So in total, I'll probably raise about 40 million for maybe 400 startups. Here are some of the clients we work with. So it'll be all sorts of different people, from Simba mattresses. I don't know if you've seen them on the tubes and bus stops. What Three Words are a really big tech company, and something that's sort of, I guess, more in the vein that you guys like. Rosa's Thai Cafe, we did Hubble, Novastone, Lucky Trip. So basically, if there's an industry that you can think of, we probably work with a company in that. So obviously, for you, it's relative to a sort of tech, and that's probably what we're going to focus on. In addition to that, I run a podcast where I've been lucky enough to speak to the founders of some really, really decent companies. So Huel, Depop, Made.com and stuff like that, and I feel like I've learned a lot from them that will hopefully be useful to you along the way. So basically, most people's journey starts off, you're an entrepreneur and you want to get to, so at some point, having, I assume, a unicorn company. I mean, it's the enviable exit ambition of most founders, and that's not a bad place to start. The reality is you then go out looking for money, and what looked like an amazing unicorn idea to you looks like a bag of hot air to a load of investors who are not quite as sold on the idea as you are, right? So there's an issue, there's a breakdown of kind of expectations versus reality here. Why does this happen? Well, this is a world map from our platform, so some of the data we collect, and each year we get over 110,000 proposals across all our networks. So if you look at the UK, there's 12,782 entrepreneurs per year coming through our platform. So we're like, there's no shortage of ideas, and if you can imagine there's that many people, you have to be so on it if you want to stand out, because we're collecting about 70 data points per startup, just so we can start to make an objective analysis. So behind what you're selling us, this big dream, this vision, and for a lot of you, I guess you're at MVP stage, you don't have that tangible traction to say, it's just about the revenue we're making. We want to see what the assumptions are that you're making, and we can see that very quickly. So you're talking about AI solutions. What we're trying to do is build AI so we can review you as entrepreneurs even quicker and start to rank and sort you. So it kind of works both ways. That AI isn't always going to be your friend. But okay, so Karen, we'll go around all of that. Actually, what's the next company? The mental well-being one?
Yeah, so there's a large problem with bullying going on, and it's not recognised as much as we think it should be. So we're building a platform for people to talk to a chatbot where they're kept anonymous, but also it's more of a personalised chatbot. So they'll go through something where they'll kind of have like a therapy session almost, where they'll get to deal with the bullying they're going through and maybe come out the other end really happy.
Okay, nice. Yeah, really good.
Educating young children between the ages of 3 to 5 in like problem-solving techniques, so that they're more ready for the life that they're going to have.
Okay, that's good. And you guys?
So ours is around breast cancer. So we want to create an AI image classification enabled to get doctors to process patients a lot quicker. So currently there are 2 types of biopsies, FDA and core biopsies. Core biopsies are the main one doctors use now, but that can be very painful and intrusive. So we want to encourage doctors to use FDA, which is a lot less painful and a lot quicker, but it's less accurate right now for doctors to actually physically see. So we want to create an AI to be able to tell a doctor if that patient has cancer based on that biopsy.
Okay, nice. And then at the back, Michael, Dennis.
But Attributes incentivizes people to bicycle rather than use public transport and other vehicles. You do this by incorporating a system where you can either cycle to earn money or cycle with your friends to earn money through their clients themselves.
Cool, nice. Guys, you should be really pleased with what you did. I think you all communicated your ideas well. Now, my question to you would be, if you were investors looking at each other's businesses, how would you want that communicated to you? What is important to you as an investor? What do you think the most important thing for an investor putting money into a business is?
Money.
Money, right? Because if they put, so if I give you £100,000, it stays in your business for 10 years, you carry on growing your business, you never exit your business, then what's happened? You're paying yourself a nice salary, but my business is still locked up as equity. I never get my money back out.
I couldn't get the question.
So what's the most important thing to an investor when investing into your business?
I guess how your business is making money.
He wants to make money, right? At the end of the day, he probably wants to make some money. Otherwise, I'll put my money elsewhere. I've got £100,000, I can lend it to somebody, earn 10% per year, or I can leave it in your business for 10 years, and I never get it back out again. Then there's a problem, right? That's not very effective. So what I want you to all do is, can you take 2 minutes and tell me with each of your businesses, write it down between you, what you think your exit strategy is, and what you think the value of your business is to an investor. Are you ready? Okay, so here we go. Okay, same order. So the hydroponics company. Anybody want to tell me how you're going to?
Probably from the profit we make, buy out the investors' shares.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's doable. That's possible. So you'll be making sure the company's profitable. So you've got profits to reinvest, to buy out shareholders at a certain price. The bullying company. Do you have an exit strategy for me?
It's very complicated with us because
Sorry?
it's a bit complicated with us because it's an online platform.
Yeah.
So we're not entirely sure how to go about it with.
So the business model, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, but that's all right. That doesn't matter. You don't have to have an exit strategy, but I'm asking if you've thought of one, because the first question as an investor that I want to go in is how my money's going to come out. Okay? You got.
Currently, we're a business-to-consumer company, but hopefully, with new connections, with business, we'll earn more from commission, so we can buy out the investors.
Okay. Cool. Educator.
No one investors.
The investor will have a presentation of our sellings.
So you're going to sell the company?
No, sell the projects.
Okay. That's all right.
So our main investors are NHS. So they would be saving money in the long term by using our product, and it would pay for itself.
Yeah.
Because we're cutting out part of the cancer cycle.
Okay. You guys actually have something I said to you yesterday, which you can get as your sale and liquidity event for an investor.
Yeah, so in terms of making money on the subscription idea.
Not how you make money, how you can make the investing money.
Oh, okay, I see.
How you make the rich.
Growth. So we're planning to grow our business, and so essentially to reach a wider consumer base. And so we're thinking that if a company comes along, they can essentially buy us or take over.
There you go.
In which we can also work on as like a sub team within the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the main team.
Yeah. Okay, so do you see why it's important? So if I asked all of you for £5, I don't think you'd be very comfortable if I didn't have a plan to give it back to you, or to return more money than you put in. So the basis here, the thing you've got to think about is actually part of the story that you want to be selling investors on, how you're going to grow that business so that you can sell. Is that for the billing company, is that going to be the number of users you acquire? If your business is valued at a certain £1 million and you've got your first round of investment, if you've got 1 million users, what's that worth to somebody who wants to buy access to those 1 million users? And what kind of company is going to buy you? And that's the important thing. So something we deal with frequently in terms of the companies we see exit is a trade sale to a bigger company that wants to buy you. So you look at kind of companies like GlaxoSmithKline, they want to buy stuff that will help people with health and well-being. You look at WPP, they buy a lot of advertising companies. So there's people in your industry vertical who will be natural brands that you know because they just buy up these startups, pull them in-house and continue to do so, like Coca-Cola buying innocent smoothies, right? And so somewhere in between your pitch and the exit, there's the value of what you present to investors. So the way we think about that is basically, let's just assume that we can all say that you're bright and you make good AI. We can all tick that box. So you guys have all given me your idea, and I go, great, you're smart, and I believe in you, and at some point I'm just buying into the idea that you make good technology. It's not, that's your current attributes, that's good, it's not necessarily enough. Then you have the ultimate attributes, which is like, actually, we want to be profitable, we want to have millions of users, we want to have all of this. That's not going to happen right away, or you can't see how that's going to happen. And then there's the achievable attributes. These are the ones that you have some control over that you could do today, which is probably what Ellen has been saying to you in terms of going out there and getting traction, speaking to people. And we're going to go into what some of these might be, right? So these are the kind of things that actually an investor's thinking about when they're looking at your business, is other investors. They want to know advisors, they want to know your team, they want to know revenue, they want to know customers, they want to know IP, they want to know if you're going to be profitable.